good evening, depending on where you are in the world today. Me, I'm obviously not asleep. It is now 4 o'clock. I don't know. Went to bed at about, well, I would say 10:30-ish. For some reason, woke up at 2 a.m. Just fully alert and awake. Four hours later. Not typical, but my bad night of sleep is you guys' gain, I guess. So sad. I actually, throughout times in my life, have been a writer, and I, to this day, could tell you the name of them little, boxy things. What we got going on? Alright, let's go ahead and push it. I gotta sell that. The internet connection quality is currently not sufficient to broadcast gameplay. I don't understand why it says that, because it says it almost every time I broadcast, and then I've not noticed that it's ever actually affected anything. The broadcast still goes through. I did notice that in the first episode, the whole first part of the episode, there was some distortion when I watched it back, and you can't hear me. And at a certain point, right after there was that little what is that? It almost looked like a body laying there. That's weird. There was that little white, I guess, loading screen. I'm still not sure if it was actually a loading screen or part of a cinema that I just missed. Close app. And, started over when it loaded into the game again. And I'm like, oh, well, I guess that was a loading screen. But anyways, you couldn't hear me. And not long after that, my headset has a switch that goes between mute and unmute, like most people's do. Well, mine's I thought was unmuted, but it wasn't all the way flipped to unmute. And that was causing, instead of you hearing me, you were just hearing like a you know what I mean? Like it was actually hard to watch. If I actually had a beat PC, I might. Oh, what? Wait, what? Cathedral of Light. Just gonna throw it out here. Diablo universe. Anytime you see something that says like Cathedral of Light or such and such of light, it's almost always been corrupted, and it's a place that, yeah, things aren't gonna end well. Guess I go.
We were born in sin, children of darkness.
Ah.
The Father's light can be sought through penitence. We must be ever vigilant against sin, brother.
Yes, Reverend Mother.
Let the light of Inarius burn away wickedness. Let not
Hey,
temptation
isn't
lead
that
you
that
from his
guy?
holy radiance. Let righteousness sear away corruption and sin. Cast out thy darkness, for only light must remain.
Cast out thine
The guy that
darkness,
saved
for
me
only
from being...
light must remain.
Is this the one from the west?
Yes, Reverend Mother. Did Lorath not accompany you?
He sent me on without him.
Putting faith in that old man was a mistake. What could possibly be of greater import?
Lilith.
So, you know. We have received word from one of our knights of a demon sighting in Gale Valley. The description matches too closely to the sighting in the west. If you would travel to Yelesna and take stock of the events there, you would have the gratitude of the Cathedral of Light. I had thought to send Lorath, but
Again, he fails in his duty.
with or without Lorath, the will of Inarius shall be done.
That guy just does not like Lorath, which is weird because I really kind of like the
Here,
dude.
take the knight's report before you go.
Huh?
Reverend Mother, I received a report of a potential demon sighting. Horned woman near Yelesna Mines. Performed routine inspection, nothing yet. Sent in priest and escort of knights. We'll report in when we find something.
Oh yeah, nobody's seeing those folks again. And as you can tell, if you... I mean, I got 1 view on my first video. It says I got no views on 2 and 3, even though during 2, 1 person popped in and left. I guess they weren't in long enough to consider it a view. Even though that's what they always do. They pop in, stay for like a minute, and leave. Whoa. Oh, man.
I cannot do that here.
Don't tell me I'm lagging already. Diablo 4. What, is that how you change the difficulty? Interesting.
You, wanderer, I know what you are.
I don't know what you are.
I know what you are. Joseph told me. He told me about Nevesk, about the blood, about your vision. You think you were saved. Pfft, fool. A demon's blood is alive. It will eat you from within until all that remains is her. Go to Nevesk, go! You will see the truth there.
Go to where?
Not while I'm in town.
Nervesk? Didn't I come from Nervesk? Are you telling me? Well, I guess I gotta go back there anyways. I mean... apparently there was a waypoint that I forgot to get. Didn't see that on my way through either. So do the dungeons level with me? Oh, these must have just opened because that was not there. I don't think. I don't know. I never went over here. I don't know. They're doing this thing where I guess, you know, the blood they gave me is slowly going to corrupt me throughout the game. And I think later on what's going to happen is Lilith is actually going to control me at certain points. And I mean, it's not a horrible plot device. It's just the fact that I feel like it's been so used in games that it's almost a trope at this point, you know. I mean, look, Final Fantasy VII. Where'd you come from? It's like a fireball. C to delete. So straight on down. Wow. First 6 levels, it really didn't seem like I was getting that much powerful, even though I'm
Out of mana.
points in the same skills. Who's this dude? Ooh, just a random NPC.
The daughter of hatred demands blood.
That's Lilith, ain't it?
lack of me.
Not entirely sure what just happened. You know what I noticed? Let's go in here. Let's go in here. I've noticed, do you not control your skill increases on this like you did on 1, 2, and I think 3? I guess not. I mean, apparently, I always played Diablo 2 wrong, even though my characters were pretty decent. I guess in Diablo 2, the meta is just put everything in vitality. Don't put any points anywhere else ever. And maybe it's because of that meta that they got rid of. Personal skill increases. Like, no, we're not gonna let you guys just put everything you have into one skill. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, and that has some range.
I'm low on precious
place. Yeah. Where am I supposed to be going? All the way over there? Oh, I had a person jump in and chat with me and I wasn't even paying attention. I get so used to not having any kind of viewers at all that sometimes when I do get a viewer, I just won't even be paying attention. No, he must be in the game. I'll add him as a friend later. Is this the place I came before?
I lack the needed money.
Jesus Christ. If you can hear me, right now I don't really need any help. I'm just kind of learning the game, but maybe later. Yeah, this is that place I came before. Only the last couple times it was like skeletons. Will it be repopulated if I go back in? Nah. One second. Ah, crap, that's not gonna work. Hold on. Gotta change the old controllers. Alright. We are good. Alright. Yeah. Had to change controllers. I'm gonna get that skill from that. It seems nice, but it seems to be kind of hard to hit with. Okay, I stopped hitting triangle like a minute ago. That was either some serious lag or... If you're wondering why I keep running away, two reasons. One, I'm a sorcerer, so kind of squishy. And two, old Diablo 1 tactics. You know, if you go into a room and it's filled with enemies, run back out the door so they have to funnel through the door one at a time. You know what I mean? Kind of like, you know, Thermopylae and the 300 and all that. It's funny, I was just thinking about the butcher. Did I level up again? I sure did. Flame shield. But yeah, the butcher in Diablo 1, one way to kill him was he rarely tended to open doors. So if you could find like a door somewhere on the level that had a portcullis next to it, or like, you know what I mean, like a barred doorway that you could see and shoot through, he would just run on the other side of the barred doorway and you could kill him. I've heard in this game, and people have found similar methods. Again, I haven't checked online a lot about this game, but when it first came out, I didn't own it. Didn't have the finances to get it, so I followed it a little bit. So I know some things. But yeah, seeing the butcher again, I don't know. I don't know how that makes me feel. You know, it's kind of like, okay, you're playing on the nostalgia, which I guess is alright, but let's be honest, it's kind of cheap too. Oh no. Oh no. You know what I mean? It's like they brought the Skeleton King back for 3. Which is a cool little nod and, again, nostalgic, but can't you make some new people? Hey, there's people here now.
Came about nicely.
But like, you know, and I get it. In 2, they tried to introduce different characters, like the Smith, in the monastery of the Sightless Eye, first level. He was kind of, I guess, intended to be Can I store gold in here? 100,000. Oh, fuck all that. No, I can't store no gold in here.
Not while I'm in town.
Let's see. We'll untrack that. That one. Meet him in Nervask. Okay. I don't see anybody in here. But, you know, obviously I guess the Smith didn't gain anywhere near the popularity of the Butcher. The thing about the Butcher is just, you know, when you first meet him in Diablo, there he is. In Diablo, it's on level 2, so the second level of the very beginning of the game, and he's way, you're actually supposed to like kind of ignore him and keep moving on. I'm gonna go check this church again to see if there's anything in there. Oh, I didn't check in the shed. You're supposed to kind of leave him and come back when you're a little bit more powerful, and he's got an interesting, unique weapon too. Unless you know you're good at exploiting like I was, and you just find a way to kill him.
Damn cold. Come, speak with me.
Oh, that's the guy. Then what's up with this dude over here? He's just another side quest? Well, let's go ahead and talk to him.
An axe. Specifically the axe of the woodsman. A man who stalked and butchered travelers in this area. Rumor has it, the woodsman disappeared recently and left his weapon behind. The priest who hired me didn't offer much more to go on. At this rate, I'll freeze before I find the damn thing. If you help me find the axe, I'll cut you in on the pay. Check the woods around town. I'm staying here where it's safe.
Alright.
I don't. Perrin does. He's a priest of sorts, but what he wants with it, I don't know. I've done work for him in the past. Always odd items or objects with a history. He pays well for them.
Perrin Abaya? Ibara? Surefire sign. Oh, it did burn. Okay. Let's go check this church. Want to see Matrim Coffin? And no, I absolutely, as Wheel of Time is my favorite book series. I love it. Cannot stand the show. They changed it way too much. They culture washed it. And I got no problem with including, you know, people, you know, I'm not racist at all. But, you know, I got no problem injecting, you know, a little color into the proceedings, you know, so everybody has representation. The problem with the Wheel of Time is the way that they did it. One, it wasn't necessary, you know what I mean? First of all, they go pretty much throughout the course of the series, they go through the entirety of that little part of the continent there, and there's all different lands that they go into, and all different cultures. Also, you have characters like Padden Fane, who was clearly a black guy in the books. My issue is that, you know, in the town of should I go look for the axe, or should I do this? In the town of Emmons Field, you know, you're talking, the Two Rivers was kind of a small, xenophobic, out-of-the-way place. You know what I mean? And that kind of framed the characters, or as I like to call them, the Emmons Field Five. And it shows in their reactions to the different cultures and the way they behave and their moral code. And, you know, when you have one character who's a white guy and another character who's Arab and another person who's Indian and another person who's black, it's like, well, what kind of small, xenophobic, Dark Ages town would have had so many different cultures in it? Especially when I say this is a town that's pretty shut out from the outside world, and has been for centuries. It's kind of narrative breaking. Then they didn't add Tom Maryland at all, and they made Moraine a lesbian, and it's just, they gave Perrin a wife. Rand has sex with Egwene in the first episode, even though those characters, while they flirted with being into each other for the first couple books, never actually got together. And actually, when Rand does lose his virginity later in the series, it causes a reaction from one of the Forsaken, who's kind of in love with him, that I don't know how you're going to construct that now that you've kind of muddied the waters. And to me, I'm like, you know, none of it was necessary. Just do it as the books. I know they never do. They gotta Hollywood it up. You know, I love the Lord of the Rings as well. But the fact that they cut out the ancient forest and Tom Bombadil really bothered me. And then they said, well, we didn't have time for him. But you did have time to add all of these love scenes between Aragorn and Arwen that didn't exist. In the story, at least. I mean, there's one little love scene that was kind of in the, you know, the notes or appendix after the story. But it's just, you know, you didn't have time for one of the most, and I get it, Tom Bombadil, in the grand scheme of the story, doesn't have a whole lot of bearing. He's actually a Maya, just like Sauron is, and Gandalf is. And his wife, a river lady or whatever, she's also a Maya. And they don't really have any bearing, but they were just such interesting characters that it was just like, why wouldn't you add them? And the fact that you say, oh, there just wasn't time, and then you add all this extra shit that wasn't in the books, it's like, okay, well, you had time for that. Oh, well, it's Hollywood, so we gotta have a love story. Do we, though? That's one issue I have. You know, it's kind of why I'm boycotting one of the reasons I'm boycotting Star Wars is it's one thing to try and gain new audience for your product, but you must be very careful not to do it at the expense of your existing audience. I mean, if you look at it like this, like, existing audience is 1, and new audience is 1. 1 plus 1 equals 2. That's what you want. But if you're subtracting the existing audience for the new audience, well, you're just ending up with 1. There's no point. And in many cases, the existing audience is gonna be bigger than your newer audience. I've heard that The Wheel of Time has a second season. I'm not interested.
If you do not look, you will not see. Search for a ritual blade or the demon's blood, something of the faithless, something you can touch. Who are you, pet? I am Voshalko. I am Kiovashad. I have lived here for 50 years. I was once the Ancients' most favored priest. And now, tongue-slick newcomers don't even know my name!
Wait a minute, don't be talking to me like that, first of all. Second of all, you talked about here as if we're in Grovislav or whatever, and we're not.
It is not important. It is a vile shithole. But to you it is a place of birth. You will see.
Oh, I can't get in there anymore?
Well, what have you found? Ah, you see how the petal pulses as it touches your skin. You are solid, just as I said. The demon burrows into your soul. A terrible fate, but perhaps Voshalko will help you. An exorcism. This is what you need. Go to Mercy's Reach, search the crypts. You will find a holy relic, the child's call, touched by the angel himself. I will require this to purge the blood.
I don't know if I trust this guy. I get it. You know, anybody that's watched this knows I don't really trust anybody. What's up here? Oh. That'd be a good one to pair with my fireball. Yeah. Yeah, as far as Diablo goes, I like that they went to Lilith. I'll give them credit for that. Honestly, 3 should have never happened. Once 2 was done, there was really no reason to bring back Diablo himself, especially since throughout the course of 2 you beat Dariel, which is 2 of the 4 sub-evils, and you beat all 3 prime-evils, Mephisto, Baal, and Diablo. So, whereas in 3, I think it's pretty much just Diablo who comes back, and it's like, okay, the 3rd time, how does this thing keep coming back, especially... Well, originally in Diablo 2, there was going to be there were going to be 6 quests in Act 4, as there were in all the other acts. Due to, you know, the publisher being in a rush to get the game out, they cut the last 3 quests. So it was basically just Izual, the Soulstone quest with Mephisto Soulstone, and Diablo himself. One of the quests would have actually been after you killed Diablo, and it would have revolved around going back and smashing his stuff as well. Which would have obviously kept him from reforming on Sanctuary again. You know, I guess it benefited them that they got rid of the quest, and that they were able to bring Diablo back, but it just, you know, there was no That's why I like the Diablo. It doesn't just even more so to have him show up. Okay, you want to keep the sparrow instead of the family. Playing without a mouse get you. Not only that, but I think they also kind of came to the conclusion that it would have been a little redundant. You've already smashed Mephisto's Soulstone. You've already basically, especially if you do it all in one go, you've already cleared out the area. It would literally just be like a mundane walk around. Menial task and then move on. But yeah, like I said, glad that they decided to go with Lilith and not regurgitate Diablo yet again.
I need time to prepare that.
Okay, all this stuff seems to be just respawning over and over again. Well, there it is.
Blood of the Lamb.
Still ain't figured out what it means when the health globe starts to get shattered. I've noticed it a couple of times, and as I said, I'm just not sure what it indicates. Like, if I'm at half health but it shatters all the way, do I just insta-die? Or oh no, hell no. I'm trying to go down here, guys. Get it, my friend. How you gonna die?
mess.
Hey, it's like a little graveyard.
Must have been a grim place, judging by how much blood is on this axe. I confess, I'm eager to leave this place. I can't shake the feeling that I'm being watched.
You're being
Now
watched.
to get this thing back to Ministad and collect my due. Thank you for your help.
I mean, I'm looking at you right now. There's also like a dude standing up there and a dude standing over there. Whoa, that person just disappeared. Interesting. So... Oh, it's way up there. Okay.
Come back if you need work.
Cha-cha. I don't know. I have no viewers to ask right now, but I was wondering, you know, when I do get viewers, if anybody's watching this through later on, if you like longer episodes or shorter episodes. I think generally for me, I think about an hour is pretty good. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's Saturday morning. I don't have anything planned right now. Till later on today.
Anything else?
If I end this episode now, which I probably will, I want to make me some coffee and roll up a cigarette. I know, I tried to quit and it didn't go well. So now, like my I guess, I don't know why I can't think of words today. What is that? Oh yeah, drop them on the ground for somebody else to take. That's what you should do.
Come back if you need work.
But anyways, my compromise with myself is instead of buying like a pack of cigarettes, I got some rolling tobacco and some papers, and I'm just rolling up cigarettes because I smoke way less that way.
Bozan has yet to return from delivering our tithing demands to Menestad. Perhaps you could sweep the roads and see what's taking him so long. The cathedral must receive its dues.
Dang. Fucking tax collector. Is there any other quests in here that I missed? Oh, you ain't gotta do all that, dude. Oh, I don't think that's for me.
Found a new oil on my hand that mixed 17 so far.
My guy's got the plague. So alright, I'm gonna go ahead and end this one here. Oh, wait a minute.
Damn cold, isn't it? But at least we are safe. Beyond these walls, darkness reigns. The new militia recruits have been training night and day. They deserve a little praise. But I can't let them see me as soft. Mind giving them a cheer for me? Easy coin for you, a boost of confidence for the recruits, and I get to go on being the hard ass. Everybody wins.
I will handle it.
Hey man, where do I get my where do I get my followers at?
Greetings. Well done.
Thanks. I hope they don't get used to it.
Where do I get my followers? Diablo 2, I could get like paladins and rogues and wizards. That was another interesting about Diablo 2 is like the first act mercenary was a rogue, right? The third act mercenary was supposed. So the warrior. I can sit down. Oh, that's cool. The warrior was not represented. I guess the paladin was supposed to be kind of the warrior, but they were like, we don't see what would be good about him. So, I don't know. For me, it depended on what character I had, which one I kept for the long haul. Like if I was a sorceress, I wanted to have the paladin, because I needed a tank. If I was a bow is on, same thing, kinda. Necromancer, definitely the paladin, because, you know, obviously the auras affect all of your minions. Paladin, the wizard, barbarian, wizard or rogue. Wizard would probably be better, but I usually went with rogue because it went with the theme of
Come on now! How many swings will it take before you hit the damn things?
The paladin more, I thought, or the barbarian more, I thought. Alright, let's see. I'm just trying to see. Blacksmith. Roga. I love how some of them it actually says what they are, and then other ones it just gives you the name. Like, that helps at all. Rings and amulets. There's an upstairs.
Not while I'm in town.
I can't speak to the jeweler yet. Alright. Just trying to see if there's a mercenary guy. I don't know what aspects are. That does kind of worry me. It's like kind of like the runes and all that. And 2, I never got too into that. I just collected them in my stash. Same with the amethysts and gemstones. I mean, I would eventually put them in socketed items, the gemstones, but I definitely learned that it's better to hang on to them until you can use the Herodic Cube to build them up and
Find somewhere else to get warm. I was here first.
Get perfect items, you know. Maybe you can't get mercenaries in this. I don't know. Yes, that's right. Drop everything on the ground. Somebody else can run her up and steal. So stupid. But you might want to share with your friends. Look, I don't got any friends. You've listened to me talk for like 4 episodes. Do I seem like a guy that kind of guy that has friends?
can take what's left.
But yeah, when you start talking about aspects and this and that, I feel like you're going into a new level of big braining that I'm just not prepared for. And maybe that's on me. I'm going to be 40 years old this year. And I think maybe part of the problem is I just don't have the patience that I did when I was younger to learn new systems. That's why when you have like a series like this, where it's the 4th game in the series, and every game you add different ways of how the game is played, it kind of infuriates me. It's like, okay, now I gotta learn a whole new system, and 40 years old, I don't have a lot of space to be learning all this extra shit. That's probably why I'm very selective in what I'll play. Not just that, but you know, I grew up, my first system was the NES, the original Nintendo NES. And I had to put up with a lot of bad games. There were pros and cons to what we got now, live action games. I think a lot of times they release games that aren't really finished. Whereas back then, when they put out a game, it was the whole game, and that was it. That's what you got. And there were games that were broken that would have needed updates if they could have updated them, and obviously they could not, and that's why those games failed. But there were also a lot of games that were just not very great. But I will return. I'm going to take a little break, make me some coffee, and roll me a cigarette, and I should be right back.